We have to make a sanitizing solution so that the rice won't stick to our hand too much. Now, you see, the rice is sticky rice. They call it sticky rice, even though you buy it, it's sushi rice. So we have to do something to break down all of the starch in that rice. So we have our water, we have our rice vinegar. We put some rice vinegar in the water. The acid in the rice vinegar helps to break down that starch so that when we're handling the rice, if you've ever gone to a sushi restaurant and you watch the guy always either dips his knife into something and taps this way. I always thought it was oil, but it's actually the sanitizing solution. And they also always reach in and give a little clap. It's like this little routine, and I'd watch these guys do this, and every time you'd see them do it, and I figured it was just some type of a habit they got into doing, but it's actually a real technique of keeping the rice from becoming too sticky. So we've made the rice, and after the rice is cooked, and you can see how it clumps together, we mix it with some sugar, some rice vinegar, and some salt, and that gives the rice not only flavor, but it gives it some added properties that keep it nice and sticky, but don't actually let it glue together permanently. So while it clumps together, you're able to still break it apart, and it's not like biting into a big ball of starch. Now, whenever we're doing sushi rolls, we use a sushi mat. And when we use a sushi mat, we cover them with plastic wrap because they're made of bamboo and they're woven together with string. And if you've ever gotten rice pressed in these and then try and wash them out, they just they get pretty warped and start to lose their shape and fall apart. So remember our nori, N-O-R-I, which is the seaweed. We want to keep the shiny side out, and we want the rice to be on the rough side. So we're going to take some of the rice, and I take about one big scoop with my ice cream scoop. When they do it in a sushi restaurant, like I said, you always see the guy dip his hand and then he slaps. Well, they're putting this sanitizing solution on their hands so that while it will stick a little bit when they're pressing the rice out, it won't stick terribly. And if you need a little extra release power, you can certainly dip your fingers back into the sanitizing solution, and then you just spread it out all along your nori, so you get it all the way out to the edges. And there's two different types of rolls that you can do. I've put the rice on the one side. Remember, it was the rough side. Now I'm going to do what's called an inside-out roll. So for this one, I flip the rice-coated nori over, and then I can start to put my ingredients in. I put my spicy tuna. More is not better. If you put too much, it'll just all ooze out. So just line it all up. Start to fold it over. Roll it up. Fold over your mat. Give it a little squeeze. If you squeeze it too hard, see it starts to come out? That's okay though. There's one roll. We'll keep that there. Piece of tuna. Let's do another one. Make a California roll. Maybe we'll do another inside out. While the inside out looks a little more difficult, I think it's actually easier to do. Now for this, we're going to put a little bit of avocado. got our crab, which is not real crab, by the way. It's actually something called pollock, a type of a processed fish. A little bit of cucumber. And then again, we start to roll this up. And then with our mat, we've got our nice roll. Let's start to give a little bit of a cleanup. I want to dish out some of this soup, because if I let it sit, you'll actually get to see it settle a little bit. Look at how nice that is. We have a little bit of our salad. Let's give this one more whip. There's our salad. Now what I want to do is to slice up our sushi rolls. Keep that sanitizing solution handy. So you have the same kind of obsessive compulsiveness as the sushi guys. And you want the sanitizing solution to run down the blade of the knife. A little piece of tuna snuck out. Clean up our plate. Boy, this rice is super sticky today. And our tuna. We'll leave that one sticking out. We always serve this with a little bit of wasabi and some pickled ginger. So you've got the basic technique. You can make these with any type of fillings. You can do non-fish fillings. You can do things like egg. You can do all types of wonderful things. You see how this soup is starting to now settle and separate, and you can see how the wasabi is in the bottom. I'm just going to mix it up again just so you can see. This is an absolute healthy, wonderful soup. Boy, I could eat this every day. We've done our wonderful ginger dressing, the traditional orange dressing that's really turned orange by the little bit of tomato paste and carrot, and two different types of rolls, the California roll and the tuna roll. I'm David Martone. You're watching Cooking Time. Thank you for watching, and happy eating.